Good morning, one and all. So, my name is Anjini Devi, Associate Professor cum HOD of Mental Health Nursing, Faculty of Nursing, Rama University. So, I am Department of Mental Health Nursing. So, today we will discuss regarding to the one of the big condition in mental health nursing, that is schizophrenia. So, coming to the introduction. So, introduction in Ayurvedic period. So, the schizophrenia they will called as a dementia precox, and Kalban they called as a catatonia, and herpes hebephrenia they called, and Emil Kerplin they called as a dementia precox. In a historical period, the schizophrenia they will called as a dementia precox. The dementia precox is a mainly three symptoms we will see. One is paranoia, catatonia, and hebephrenia. And coming to the second one, they will called as a manic depressive illness. So the person is showing into the different types of symptoms in the schizophrenia. So in the year of 1908, the Swiss psychologist Etienne Bleuler they coined as a schizophrenia is a mental splitting. So that is the coming from the two Greek words. One is schizo, that means split, and phrenia means mind. So the totally they will called as a splitting mind. The schizophrenia the Etienne Bleuler called as a splitting of mind. So coming to the definition of schizophrenia, it is a psychotic condition that is characterized by disturbances in thinking, emotion, volition, fluctuate in the presence of clear consciousness, which is usually leads to the social withdrawal. Here all types of functions will be getting disturbances. Their thinking process will be disturbed and emotions will be disturbed. The social withdrawal will be present and the person will be the clear consciousness, which is usually lead to the social withdrawal. That is the definition of schizophrenia. Next move on to the epidemiology or incidence of the schizophrenia. 15% of new admissions in hospital with the schizophrenic conditions, and 3 to 4% in per 100 in the every community, and 1% of general population they are suffering with the schizophrenic disorders, and equal both the men and women both they will get the diseases. The onset will be the 15 to 25 years of men and 25 to 35 years of the women they are suffering with the schizophrenia, and 2 to 3 of the cases are in the age group between the 15 to 30 years. The more common in the lower socio-economic people. So if we are taking into the epidemiological prevalences of the schizophrenia, more affect the admissions cases into the hospital, into the psychiatry. The 15% of all new cases will be comes under the schizophrenia, and 3 to 4 per in 1000 in every community they are suffering with the schizophrenia, and 1% of general population they are suffering with the schizophrenia. Both equal, man and women will be equal chance to they get suffering with the schizophrenia. The onset will be the 15 to 25 years of men and 25 to 35 years of women they are more suffering with, and 2 to 3 of the cases are in the age group between the 15 to 30 years. The more common into the lower socio-economic status. Next move on to the classification of schizophrenia. So according to the ICD-10 classification, the schizophrenia will be comes under the F20 to 29. That is the schizophrenia and schizotypal and delusional disorders. See, if we are taking into that is F indicates the Fisher classification. That ICD means Indian classification, that is international classification of disorders, that comes under the F20 is the schizophrenia, and F20.0 is the paranoid schizophrenia, and F20.1 will be the hebephrenic schizophrenia, F20.2 will be the catatonic schizophrenia, and F20.3 will be the undifferentiated schizophrenia, and F20.4 will be the post schizophrenic depression, and F20.5 will be the residual schizophrenia, and F20.6 will be the simple schizophrenia, and F20 will be the other types of schizophrenia, and F20.9 will be the unspecified schizotypal disorders. So other clinical features of schizophrenia, it will becomes X0, that is the continuous schizophrenia will be there, and X1 will be the episode and progressive deficit schizophrenia, and episode with stable deficit schizophrenic disorders, episode with the remittent disorders will be there, and incomplete remissions will be there, and complete remissions of the schizophrenia, other forms of schizophrenia, and course uncertainty of the certain period of diseases will be there. These are the clinical types of schizophrenia. So that is mainly, if you are taking into the classification, that it will becomes under the F20 to 29 schizophrenia and schizotypal delusional disorders. F20 will be the schizophrenia, 20.0 will be the paranoid schizophrenia, and F20.1 will be the hebephrenic schizophrenia, and F20.2 is the catatonic schizophrenia, and F20.3 is undifferentiated schizophrenia, and F20.4 will be the post schizophrenic depression, and F20.5 will be the residual schizophrenia, and F20.6 will be the simple schizophrenia, F20.8 will be the other types of schizophrenias, and F20.9 will be the unspecified schizophrenia, and some of the clinical types of schizophrenias will be there, that it will comes under the X. X0 will be the continuous schizophrenia, X1 will be the episode with the progressive deficit schizophrenic disorders, and X2 will be the episodes with the stable deficit schizophrenia, and X3 will be the episode in remittent schizophrenia, and X4 will be the incomplete remissions of the schizophrenia, and X5 is the complete remissions of schizophrenia. X18 will be the other forms of schizophrenias, and X9 will be the course uncertainty of the period of schizophrenia. So these are the classification of the schizophrenia. Next, move on to the stages of schizophrenia. In these stages of schizophrenia, mainly we have to see into the 4 stages. One is premorbid phase or premorbid stage, second one will be the prodromal stage, and third one will be the active stage, and fourth one will be the residual stage of schizophrenia. These are the 4 stages of schizophrenia will be there. One is premorbid stage, prodromal stage, and active stage, and then it will be the residual stage. See, if we are taking into the premorbid stage, there is no signs and symptoms. That should be a functionally, the person will be the patient should be a normal. If we are taking into the prodromal stage, in this stage no specific symptoms of at risk mental status. There is no specific symptoms should be present into the prodromal stage. See, if we are taking into the active stage or active phase of schizophrenia, the person is showing into the psychotic signs and symptoms, and coming to the residual stage, the person fully showing into the all types of negative symptoms. So these are the 4 stages will be present into the schizophrenia. So next, move on to the etiological factors of schizophrenia, or risk factors of schizophrenia. First, we will see the biological theories. Under the biological theories, the biochemical theories will be involved. So then neurostructural theories, genetic theories, perinatal and prenatal risk factors that should be involved into the biological theories of schizophrenia to affect etiological factors. So in this biochemical theories, the dopamine hypothesis, that is the alterations into the neurotransmissions, mainly into the dopamine, and increase non-epinephrine, serotonin, acetylcholine, and GABA. And then coming to the neurostructural theories, so in this neurostructural theories, that is the prefrontal cortex and the limbic cortex may be never faulty abnormalities will be takes place. If you have seen into the CT scan and MRI, the decreased brain volume will be developed, and a large lateral and third ventricle we can observe into the neurostructural abnormalities theories. And next one will be that is the increased size of sulci of the brain can observe into the CT scan and MRI. So these are the mainly into the biochemical theories and neurostructural theories. So next one will be the genetic theories. The genetic theories involved into the risk factors more common into the conjugated marriages. The conjugated marriages, that is the 8 to 10% of first degree relatives that can be affected, and 3% of second degree relatives can be affected, and 2% will be the third degree relatives can be affected to the schizophrenia. There will be a chance to the transmission of genetic information to the one generation to the another generation. The monozygotic twins are 46% at risk, and dizygotic twins will be the 14%. See, if the parents will be suffering with the schizophrenia, one parent have the risk to chance to get the child will be the 10 to 12%, and both parents will have the schizophrenia, means that is the increased risk about to the 40%. So these are the main biological theories, that is the risk factors or etiological factors. Next one will be the perinatal and prenatal risk factors. The prenatal and perinatal risk factors that can be included into the maternal influences and birth during late or winter early seasons and spring season, the complications of pregnancies, and particularly during the labor or delivery. So these are the risk factors involved into the prenatal. So next move on to the psychodynamic theories. In this psychodynamic theory, the developmental theories that should be involved into the risk for the schizophrenia. So next one, the family theories. See, in this family theory, mother-child relationship. See, in this mother-child relationship, dysfunctional family system should be present, and the marital risk or marital conflict of the parents, and broken homes, rejection by the parents, like that some of the, that is double bind communications will be present, and the deprived and parent-child relationship be present into the family theories. That is the mother-child relationship. These are the things that should be involved into the family theories. So next one will be the vulnerability. So here we can see the stress models. That is the predisposition of the any stimuli, external stimuli or internal stimuli that can lead to the schizophrenic disorders. Next one will be the social factors. In these social factors, disorganizations and high social mobilities, and especially members of the low socio-economic status people and family, urbanization, defective interactions people, so they are risk for the schizophrenia. Next one will be the environmental factors. In these environmental factors, we can see the stressful life events, and then last one will be the psychological factors. In these psychological factors, impaired ego functioning it will be there, that is the intra-psychic conflict will be present. The person can be showing into the unstable, that type of person he will called as a unstable persons, that is the person will have the low IQ level, that is intellectual quotient level will be low, episodic to the crisis of the situations. So these are the main etiological factors or risk factors for the schizophrenia. One is biological theories, second one will be the psychodynamic theories, family theories, vulnerability, and social factors, and environmental factor, and psychological factors. So next move on to the psychopathology of schizophrenia. So here mainly into the two factors that should be involved. One is genetic factors, social factors, environmental factors, that all etiological factors that leads to the neurodevelopmental abnormalities and target features they can show. So that is enlargement of the ventricles and biochemical alteration, that is the brain dysfunctions they can show. So and improper balances of the chemicals, mainly dopamine, serotonin, non-epinephrine, epinephrine, acetylcholine, GABA. So that is all things they can be showing into the dysfunction into the brain. So the person finally leads to the schizophrenia. So there is no exact psychopathology of schizophrenia, but possible cases they can show due to the etiological factors, the neuronal developmental abnormalities and target features can be present, and then brain dysfunctions and improper balancing of the chemicals, the person is going for the schizophrenia. This is regarding to the psychopathology of schizophrenia. So next we will see regarding to the clinical features of schizophrenia. So mainly we have 4 categories we can observe. One is Eschenbluer 4A symptoms of schizophrenia, and SFRS, that is Schindler's first rank symptoms of schizophrenia, positive negative symptoms of schizophrenia, and other types of schizophrenias will be there. So these are the 4 clinical features we are observing into the schizophrenic patients. One is Eschenbluer 4A symptoms, Schindler's first rank symptoms, that is SFRS symptoms, and positive negative symptoms of schizophrenia, and then other symptoms of schizophrenia. So the first we will see regarding to the Eschenbluer 4A symptoms. One is affective disturbances, second one autistic thinking, ambivalence, associative looseness. So these are the 4A symptoms we are observing into the schizophrenic patients. So that's why we will call as a 4A symptoms: affective disturbances and autistic thinking, ambivalence, associative looseness. Next, second one will be the Schindler's first rank symptoms of schizophrenia. So here, no, first one will be the hearing of one's thoughts. So that means audible thought echo will be present, and some of the hearing of one's own voice, that is the hearing of the one's own thoughts, and hallucinatory voice. In this hallucinatory voice, the person is showing into the running commentary. So that is voice commenting of the one's own acts and voices. Next one will be the thought withdrawal, thought insertion, and thought broadcasting. So here now any external force, suddenly they are withdrawing from the thought. Some same way the thought insertion, thought broadcasting will be present. Next one will be the delusions of perception. So the delusions means that is the false unshakable belief. So here the person is having the delusions of perception, somatic passivity. The person is showing into the bodily complaint. So that means some of the insect is going into the body. Like that the person is showing into the somatic passivity and made volitions, made impulses, and made feelings. So these are the first rank symptoms of the schizophrenia. That is the Schindler's first rank symptoms: hearing of one's own thoughts, hallucinatory voice, thought withdrawal, thought insertion, thought broadcasting, delusional perception, somatic passivity, made volitions, made impulses, and made feelings. So next move on to the positive negative symptoms of schizophrenia. See, if we are taking into the positive symptoms, delusions we are observing various types of delusions. That is primary delusions, secondary delusions will be there, delusions of reference, delusions of prosecution, delusions of grandiosity. All types of delusions we are observing into the positive symptoms, that is the delusion. Second one will be the hallucinations. So in these hallucinations, no, various types of hallucinations will be present: auditory hallucination, gustatory hallucination, tactile, olfactory. All types of hallucinations we are observing in these positive symptoms. Next, excitement. So in this excitement, the person is showing into the different types of symptoms. So next one will be the hostility, suspiciousness ideas. That is the doubtfulness to the others. That is friends and family members. They are having the suspiciousness behavior, and a possible suicidal tendency will be present. So these are the positive symptoms of the schizophrenia. So delusions, hallucinations, excitement, hostility, suspiciousness and possible suicidal tendency. Next, coming to the negative symptoms of schizophrenia. So in these negative symptoms, the affective flattening, that is the blunt affect, that is the lack of emotional feelings will be present, avolition, apathy will be present, attentional impairment will be present, and anhedonia, alogia. So that is the social withdrawal will be present. So these are the clinical features of the schizophrenia. See, if we are taking into the other types of schizophrenia will be, one is thought and speech disorders will be there, and perceptual disorders will be there, motor behavior and other forms of schizophrenia will be there. See, if we are taking into the thought and speech disorders, so we have content of thought and progression of thought. See, if we are taking into the content of thought, we have various types of disorders it will becomes. First, in this artistic thinking, we are observing and loosening of association, and then thought block and neonanism. So the neonanism means the person is coining of the new words and paras, that is meaningless words, meaningless paras, the patient should be created into the neonanism. The person is showing into the mutism, that is with a no speech production, and then poverty of speech, poverty of ideation, and then echolalia, preservation, all types of thought disorders and speech disorders the person is showing into the thought and speech disorders. So next one will be the disorders of perception. So in these disorders of perception, the person is showing into the all types of hallucinatory behaviors, auditory hallucination, gustatory, olfactory, primary, hypnagogic, hypnopompic, all types of hallucinations the person is showing. So next one will be the disorders of motor behavior. Increased motor activity will be there, and then decreased motor activity will be present. Excitement, all types of decreased motor activity and increased motor activity disorders they can be showing. So these are the 4 types of clinical features will be present into the schizophrenia. So one is Eschenbluer 4A symptoms and Schindler first rank symptoms of schizophrenia, negative and positive symptoms of schizophrenia, and other types of schizophrenia. So next move on to the diagnostic evaluations of schizophrenia. So one is history. They have to take the in detail psychiatric history of the patients. So what are the predisposing factors, precipitating factor and perpetuating factors. So what are the causes of illness, and any family history of previous family history of psychiatric illness, any genetic predisposing. You have to collect the in detail history into the patients. So next we have to go for the mental status examination. So in this mental status examination, we have to observe the patient general conditions like hallucinatory behavior, so that is the mannerisms and hearing of one's own voice, thoughts and everything we have to observe, and assess the person's speech activities, thought, and patient is having any perceptual abnormalities, and person's cognitive level, and assess the patient attention concentration and insight of the patient and social judgment. All types of things we have to do the mental status examination. We have to find out the abnormalities of the patients. So next one will be the neuroimaginary studies. See, in these neuroimaginary studies, mainly they are going for the computer tomography, that is the CT scan, and MRI, that is magnetic resonance imaginary technique, and PET scan, that is positron emission tomography. So once they are going for the neuroimaginary studies, they can be showing into the enlargement of the brain ventricles and sulci. Some of the abnormalities they can observe into the neuroimaginary studies. So next move on to the treatment part of the schizophrenia. So all types of psychiatric disorders, so we have seen about mainly 4 aspects of the treatment we are observing. One is pharmacological management, second one we are going for the physical therapy, third one psychological therapy, and fourth one will be the alternative forms of therapies. So first you are seeing about regarding to the pharmacotherapy. So mainly we are administer the antipsychotic drugs. So mainly into the conversion antipsychotic we are administered to the patients, mainly into the haloperidol. So the haloperidol we are administering the 5 to 100 milligram per day. So with the divided doses of 5 to 20 milligram per day we are administering into the haloperidol to the patients, and we have to administer to the chlorpromazine. Like this, some of the antipsychotics we are administered to the patient intramuscularly to the patient. So next one will be the physical therapy. So in this physical therapy mainly we are using into the electroconvulsive therapy. The electroconvulsive therapy means therapy. So we have to introduce to the grand mal seizures of the patient to use to the electrical current through the brain. We have to produce the grand mal seizures. So in this 8 to 20 ECTs we are giving to the patients. So only the patient is having schizophrenia, directly we are not going for the ECT. So based on the clinical symptoms and symptoms, so mainly the person is having the catatonic schizophrenia, and then person is having the some other types of schizophrenia only. So we are using into the ECT. So only catatonic schizophrenia and undifferentiated schizophrenia we are going for the ECT. So next one will be the psychological therapies. So in these psychological therapies mainly we are following into the group therapy, family therapy, behavior therapy and social skill training. All types of psychological therapy, so we have to modify the abnormal behavior to the normal behavior. So we are using into the various types of techniques into the behavior therapy, like token economy, systemic desensitization, flooding, aversion, like that various types of techniques we are using, and social skill training and activity therapy, work habit, vocational guidance. And so we have to improve the patient mental ability. So that's why we are going for the psychological therapies. And finally, that is most important thing will be the psychosocial rehabilitations. In this psychosocial rehabilitation, improve the activities of daily living, occupational therapy, vocational therapies, we are going into the psychosocial rehabilitations. So particularly various psychosocial rehabilitation centers will be available into the national, international for the psychiatric patient. For the deinstitutionalizations of the care should be provided into the psychosocial rehabilitation center. So next one will be the alternative therapies. So in these alternative therapies, they are going for the some kind of yoga, meditations, some other activities they are doing. So these are the main treatment part of the schizophrenia. So one is pharmacotherapy, physical therapy, psychological therapies and alternative therapies. And last one we are going for the nursing assessment. The nurse should have knowledge regarding to the disease condition, so how she should do the interview of the patient, how she should give the counseling to the patients, and you have to mainly developing into the trusting relationship to the patient. That is the interpersonal relationship should be maintained to the patient. So next last one will be the, so what are the possible nursing diagnoses for the schizophrenia? Basically we are following into the 3 tri structure of nursing diagnosis we are following. So based on the clinical symptoms, based on your investigation, we have to follow the nursing diagnosis. The first foremost nursing diagnosis will be the schizophrenic patients will be the disturbed thought process. The disturbed thought process related to inability to trusting the others. So as evidenced by the delusions thinking, the patient is having the delusional thinking. So that is impaired health maintenance, a poor grooming, poor skills. So activities of daily living will be there, decreased grooming. All those, and that is the impaired health maintenance related to inability to extreme suspiciousness as evidenced by the poor diet intake. So next one will be the self-care deficit will be there, and potential for violence, that is self-injured behavior will be present, risk for violence will be present, disturbed sensory perception related to the panic anxiety as evidenced by the inappropriate restlessness. So these are the possible nursing diagnoses we can formulate for the schizophrenia. So far we discussed regarding to the schizophrenia. Coming to the introduction, schizophrenia is a previous historical period they will called as a dementia precox. So later on 1908, so the Swiss psychologist Etienne Bleuler, they coined as a schizophrenia. So that is coming from the two Greek words, that is schizo means mind and phrenia means splitting, that is totally will called as a splitting of the mind. So we are seen into the definition, epidemiology and classification and stages of schizophrenia, etiological factors and psychopathology and clinical features and diagnosis and treatment and nursing diagnosis of the patients. So thank you one and all.